Oahu's housing market, it is already one of the most expensive in the country, and the latest data, it's raising questions as to a possible reason why. Angela Safone is live to give us a closer look. And Ange, housing affordability, living expenses, really a complex topic, and it seems there's, well, another layer to it.
Jai, yeah, the cost to live in paradise is always a hot topic in Hawaii, but there are different factors that could be driving the price up. Reports from 2025 are showing how the military housing stipend could be playing a big role.
The biggest fear I think many of us have is that our kids will feel priced out of their home. You know, they always say priced out of paradise, that they'll feel that they have to leave.
That fear is becoming more common across Oahu. A January 2025 Pentagon report is now adding fuel to the debate, showing just how large a role the military plays in the island's housing market. According to the U.S. Department of Defense, about 14% of all residential rentals on Oahu are occupied by active duty service members.
If they take up too much of our housing supply, then it's going to start to skew our housing market. And that's the issue that we've been facing for a number of years now.
Hawaii U.S. Representative Ed Case says the issue isn't service members, it's supply. Many military families live off base and receive basic allowance for housing, or BAH, a federal housing stipend meant to match market rates. An unmarried entry-level service member could receive around $2,100.
Housing allowance that the military families get here is supposed to help them out with their off-base housing. Obviously, if that's too high, then the market is very difficult for everybody else.
Critics argue when allowances rise, landlords often raise rents to match, pushing prices higher for everyone competing in the same market.
If it's high rents, then the military increases its allowance. But if the military increases its allowance too much, then it creates a new level. Solution here, in part, is to provide more options on base for them to live, or in privatized military housing.
Building enough on-base housing to accommodate that 14% would cost the military more than $10 billion. But according to the Pentagon report, it's cheaper to increase allowances than to build new units, leaving more service members in the private rental market. Still, lawmakers acknowledge even that wouldn't solve Hawaii's broader affordability crisis.
Now, we can't fault them, but that is a huge problem. We've got to be making sure that as a federal government, as a Department of Defense, that we're building more housing for service members.
For many parents, the issue goes beyond policy. It's personal.
It's really, for me as a mom, as a member of Congress, as someone who loves Hawaii, who wants to make sure our kids can actually live and stay here, that's really been my focus, is how we get the federal government to actually contribute, not take away from our housing stock.
For families already struggling with rising costs, some say the question is whether federal housing policy is unintentionally pricing locals out. Live in studio, Angela Safone, Island News.